Hey there, it's Neil from the HMO Property Co, and this is video 2, bank finance, leverage and multiple streams of income. Now, for a few years since we've started this business back in 2017, we've really struggled to get the banks to see the value of what we create. So we would build a 6-bedroom, 6-bathroom house, or we would design a 6-bedroom, 6-bathroom house. We'd take it to the bank and we'd say, Mr. Bank Manager, we need $300,000 to buy the land and we need $400,000 to build the house. And the bank manager would look at it and say, well, what do I compare this to? There's nothing in the market that we can compare it to. And plus your rental income, you're dreaming. If you think you're going to get $70,000 a year of income from that property, you're absolutely dreaming. The property next door rents out for $500 a week, so we're going to put $25,000 a year as rental income against this property. And it really struggled. We really struggled to progress people's portfolios with them, and people getting stuck. Fast forward to now, and only 10 weeks ago, there was a new lender came into the market, and they've brought out a specific co-living lending product, which means that now they look at a 6-bedroom, 6-bathroom house and they go, we can see that the increased construction cost on this property of $100,000 to $130,000 a year is because you've got 4 additional en-suites compared to the house next door. And then they say, we can also see that your rental income is going to be $75,000 a year because you've got 6 people paying $250 a week each. So we'll take that into consideration too. And the valuations that we've been taking to the bank recently have been stacking up, and people have been putting 10 or 20% deposits down and moving forward with their property portfolio. And the most exciting thing about this is, if you've watched video 1 and we talked about negative gearing and reducing your income, and positive gearing and increasing your income so you can borrow more money, is the banks are now taking the rental income from a HMO into consideration for serviceability. This means people that could not purchase because their wages were too low, whether they were just on a low wage or whether they were negatively geared, means that they can now go to the bank with a 6-bedroom, 6-bathroom design, a rental appraisal from my company, because we're seen as one of the preferred property managers in Perth for this style of accommodation, and they will take that full rental income into consideration. And it's getting people across the lines, and it's an absolute game changer. And I'm very, very excited because we are now able to help a lot of people that we couldn't help previously. Now, the purpose of this video was more to talk about how we use leverage from one property to purchase a portfolio of properties, which then produce enough cash flow so that we can quit our jobs and create more time, freedom, choices, go on more holidays, upgrade our cars, pay for the kids' school fees, all these things that you can do with cash flow, all of these things that you can't do with negative cash flow. So one of the things, I'm going to do a little example for you now, and excuse my drawings, but let's say you purchase a property, a HMO, it's worth $600,000. Just an example. Please don't come to me saying, Neil, you said these properties were $600,000. Depends where we buy them, depends what they are, depends where they are. So $600,000 worth of real estate, we can use a 10% deposit. I'm going to keep this really simple. There's going to be additional fees, as in conveyancing fees, valuation fees, etc., etc., stamp duty, but for the purpose of this video I'm going to keep it really simple. So $60,000, we put a 10% deposit down, that's 60k. The stamp duty, we pay stamp duty on the land, the stamp duty will be about 7,000, but let's just keep this really simple. And this property creates $25,000 a year. It would probably create more than that on a 10% lend and a 90% lend, but for the purpose of this I'm going to keep it really simple. And let's say the market goes up 10%. Excuse me. Now the Perth market as a whole, as a general, it goes up 10 to 15% last year. Now within that market there's mini markets which are moving constantly. There's areas that have not had any capital growth because there's no demand there to live. Demand drives growth. And there's areas that have seen 25, 30, 45% growth in the last 18 months. Why? Because people want to live there and people are prepared to pay more to live in them areas. Now I'm going to touch on this more in video number 4. And if you're seriously considering investing in Perth, do not miss that video, because I'm going to show you what is stimulating the market right now and where the opportunities are for you as an investor. So let's say over 12 months, property goes up 10%. You've now got a property that's worth $660,000. Ah, hello. You only need $60,000 to buy another property. So we go over here, we get another property for $600,000, and we put 60k down as a deposit. And this generates $25,000 a year. So we've now got two properties that are going up 10% per annum, and they're both producing $25,000 a year. That means I've got $50,000 worth of cash flow that's coming in every single year. Now, I haven't had to work any harder for that. I don't have to get up any early for that. I don't have to stay at work any later for that. And some of our clients are actually working less hours. They've cut back from 5 days a week down to 3 days a week because they've got this type of income coming in. We've got other investors that are just buying these things aggressively because they want to get to $150,000, $200,000 a year of cash flow, and then they want to quit the jobs. We've got other people that are just setting these things up as a buffer for the kids. The kids are only young and they want property that goes up in value, but they also want to get a return on investment while the property is going up in value. So now you've got two properties that are going up 10% per annum. So two $600,000 properties means we've now got 120k of equity after 2 years. Remember, this is just an example. There's additional fees to put inside of this. This is just a high level. So we now got two properties that are going up 10%, $120,000 a year of equity. We now go back out and we buy two more 600k properties with our equity uplift. How much money have we put down so far? We've only put the original $60,000 down. To buy this house, we've used the equity uplift from the first house, and to buy these two houses here, we've used the equity uplift from the other two houses, which have both gone up 10%. By the way, these two properties are both creating $25,000 a year cash flow. You've now got four houses, which are probably worth 2.6 mil. They're creating $100,000 a year cash flow. And if the market goes up 10%, you've just made another $260,000 worth of equity. Now, equity is great. Equity is how we create wealth in real estate. But equity doesn't pay the bills. Cash flow pays the bills. You take equity out of a property and spend it, that equity is gone. You use cash flow from your portfolio to buy a new car, and guess what happens next month? Cash flow comes back in the bank, as long as your properties are tenanted. Right now we've got close to 500 rooms, virtually no vacancies, because the style of accommodation is in that much high demand. So I hope that helps. Next video, video number 3, I'm going to talk about the way we are changing the way we live. And I'm going to talk about the trends around the world of co-living. We're going to talk about the USA. We're going to talk about the UK and Europe. As you can tell, I'm from the UK. A lot of people think I'm Irish. And then we're going to talk about the changing trends in Australia as well. So join me tomorrow for video number 3. I look forward to seeing you there.